Welcome back to Up North at 4. I'm sure you've heard of the Heisman Trophy. Every year it goes to the top college athlete in football in the NCAA. But John Heisman, the man behind the trophy, has ties to Rhinelander. Bill Vankos from the Rhinelander Historical Society joins us now to talk about those ties. Bill, tell us about John Heisman.
So first, a little background. Um, he played football in college. He went to college at Brown University and the University of Pennsylvania, where he graduated with a law degree in 1892. Unfortunately, in a game against Princeton, he suffered an eye injury. It was from the galvanized lighting system. It must have been a large flash. So he had to take his finals orally. And the doctor recommended that he take a couple of years off to strengthen his eyes up. So rather than pursue his legal career, he turned towards coaching of football. So he coached from 1892 to 1928. He coached at 8 different colleges: Oberlin, Bucknell, Akron, Auburn, Clemson, Georgia Tech, University of Pennsylvania, and Rice, some well-known schools. At Georgia Tech, he had a record of 33 straight wins, so he was pretty successful at coaching. His goal was to make the game more fun and interesting. So he's credited with some things like the snap from center and the hike, the shift in the backfield and the double laterals, trying to, again, make the game more interesting for the fans. He's also credited with helping to legalize things like the forward pass, developing the first scoreboard that actually showed downs and yards, a system for signaling in from the sidelines to the quarterback, and to me, most important, dividing the game into 4 15-minute quarters. If you know much about football, it resembled more like rugby in the early days. So this was the transformation. So he was pretty successful. He had 185 wins, I think 70 defeats and 17 ties. His most notable game was a 222-0 revenge match against Cumberland College of Lebanon, Texas. And that's fodder for a whole nother program. It was an interesting thing how that game happened. But anyway, after he retired from coaching, he did some writing and did some advising. Anyway, he became the director of the New York Downtown Athletic Association, and he helped to recognize the award for the best player in college football. That award was first given out in 1935. Unfortunately, Mr. Heisman passed away in 1936, so they renamed the trophy in his honor. Now, his wife's sister lived in Rhinelander, and she was married to Mr. Donaldson. And from previous segments, you may remember the name of the Mason Donaldson Lumber Company. They were huge lumber brokers here in town and in the Northwoods area. And Mr. Donaldson had passed away. And so when Mr. Heisman passed away, his wife decided to move to Rhinelander to live with her sister. So Mr. Heisman's body was brought here by train and laid to rest in the Forest Home Cemetery. Kind of interesting, Mrs. Heisman lived, I think, until the 1960s. So for some 25 or 30 years, the Athletic Association would send her a large bouquet of flowers every fall during the week of the awarding of that trophy. So they remembered her each year as that. So that's a little in a nutshell who Mr. Heisman was and why he's laid to rest here at the Forest Home Cemetery.
He did visit Rhinelander a couple of times, right? He didn't only...
Yes, he did. As a matter of fact, the year that he passed away, 1936, he was here for 2 months during that summer. So yeah, he was familiar with this. No way of knowing if he expressed any interest in being brought here after his death or not. But yeah, he was familiar with the area.
Thanks so much, Bill Vankos, for joining us yet again on Up North at 4.
Okay, bye now and happy Easter.